My hobby is photography, and I've been into photography for about 10 years now. It's something that I kind of grew a bigger interest in probably about the past 3 years. I probably picked up my first camera when I was 7 or 8 years old, and I used to take pictures of flowers in my yard. I got my first camera when I was 12, and it's the same camera I shoot with today. So I've been actively shooting for about 4 years now. Some of my favorite shoots are very spontaneous. I don't plan a lot. Some of my favorite things that I've done is a bus photo shoot where I had some of my friends pose in front of a blue school bus. And another one is when I went to a glass rock hill with Alicia, and we took a lot of photos and they ended up turning out really well. I don't think that I have a specific style that I specialize in. I mostly like to shoot portraits and take a lot of candid photos. I don't like my photos to be very posed. I like them to be very freeform. I don't like when people seem very stiff. Some things I like about photography is you can capture memories, and it's also a really interesting art form. You can pose people and make people do anything that you really want and edit however you would like. Some challenges with photography is definitely money. It costs a lot to own cameras and equipment and different kinds of lenses. So it definitely all adds up, and it's a very expensive hobby. One thing I wish I knew when I started is the different kinds of settings and to use manual mode. When I first started, I just used flash off, which is an auto mode, and you can't really do anything with your photos. I definitely wish I knew what manual mode was and how to change all of my settings. One thing that makes me feel accomplished with my photos is like being able to finish a whole photo shoot. There's always a good amount of photos that tell a good story, and you can just look at a photo for hours and it just makes you feel like you're warm inside. Something that makes me content in photography is always capturing the perfect shot. When you get the perfect shot, you just kind of know when it's the perfect shot, and you can just stare at it for hours and always love that photo. So some tips that I can give some incoming photographers is that gear doesn't matter. You don't always have to have the most expensive camera or 5 million lenses. As long as you have the idea, the technique, you can definitely produce good quality photos. Knowing how to use manual mode, it's definitely a lifesaver, and you shouldn't use auto mode anyways. It's auto mode.